Okay, time to get the major cutting done here. Hopefully you can see there where I've highlighted with a Sharpie. And basically what we're talking about is just about 1 inch wide. I've measured. And I know I'm going to go back here and we're going to get in the front. So that's kind of a guide that you can use. But it's just a guide. You always test fit as you go. And as far as, getting the trimming done, once again, here we go, Mr. Dremel. I'm using this milling bit. You can use smaller, larger. This is just the one I like. And you just got to get going. So I just kind of start right here in the middle, just like that. And I break through and just keep going. Man, I tell you, I love the smell of ground plastic in the morning. It smells like victory. So just going to keep going here. You can see how well it goes right through that. And we're going to go all the way around. Oh yeah, we're making a good mess here. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is this part right here underneath the driver, the seat and the driver in particular. So right there is the top of the motor, and that is where you can get some contact, is that corner right there. Hopefully you can see that. See, depending on how low you want to go. Now you notice, took the other milling bit, I cut away the tray, and now I'm going to trim a little bit here on the seat and the driver, and then I'm back to the round milling bit here. And again, you just test as you go, okay? And you're going to remove some of this material from around the driver and the seat, and you're going to grind that down in this corner, and you're going to test it as you go to make sure that it clears. Alright, so that part is finished. Something I want to show you. You'll notice that I've made this hole a little wider than this one. This one here, when you put it down, it's about 1 inch, give or take. Like I said, you test fit. The reason I did this is because sometimes over the years people have made posts where they've cut a little bit too far. They've went too far, and I'm just here to show you it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. You're already cutting a hole in here. If you go a little further, so what? So I just cut a little bit more away, more than needed. But something I want to share with you before we go to the next step is there's a lot of similarities between the Dodge and the Plymouth as far as the models go from Carrera. But one difference is here. So for example, this is from the Dodge, from our Marty Robbins Dodge. And you'll notice the distance here of the holes that mount right there. And then this is from the Plymouth. So turn this underneath there like that, and you can notice these holes are just wider apart. Why? I don't know. Who knows? But that's the difference. Not a lot, but something you be aware of when you're doing the trimming right here, which is what we're going to do. So the Dodge is finished. Now we'll get on to the Plymouth. And just remember why we're doing this, as we talked about, getting the clearance here to make sure that the tire doesn't rub on the interior. So that's what we're going to do. We're just kind of test fitting this as we go, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to trim this. Well, how are we going to do it? Well, any old way. Sanding barrel, you can do that. Larger sanding barrel, I like the smaller one, or good old-fashioned milling bit. Any way that you're comfortable with doing it. I can even use my little small bench grinder for that. But we're going to go ahead and shape this and make sure it clears. So I'll just use a milling bit. We'll get started. Just turn it on, bring it down here, and just start cutting. Your guide is that roll bar right there. Notice here how close I got to those roll bars. Okay, those are the same. So we're just going to trim and test fit. Okay, so that's what we ended up with. Like I said, there's a difference. This is more straight here, but for the Plymouth, kind of arched it like that. That was my guide. So, like I say, just test fit. Looks like there's going to be plenty of clearance. No chance of rubbing, as always. Have your car body there, handy, ready. Snap it in there. And then what I like to do is just drop this down, put it on there, and you can see inside. You think, yep, okay, I'm good to go. Did I have to go that far? No. Some people try to put the widest tire they can on here, but clearance. And guess what? You can't really see anything. So you still have your roll bar detail. So to me, that worked out pretty good. So now, our final is right here. Remember we discussed that? Well, that's just pretty easy to do. We're just going to shape this with sanding barrel and a Dremel. And we're just going to follow the line we just did right there. And just remove that little ridge right there. You're just shaping that. And like I said, this depends on how low you want to go. You're going to have to test fit. If you're rubbing, you're going to have to take more off. We should be good to go with just that. Alright, so your final, put it together, test fit, and looks pretty good. You notice, nice float here. Looking inside, I cannot see any interference or from underneath. Yes, I know, before the comments are made, that this is the Plymouth chassis, the other chassis. They're interchangeable. I just have it up here for looks. We're still working on the other chassis. But that's what I was looking for. Looking inside here, making sure we have plenty of clearance, no rubbing, we have good float. I'm happy with it. I think we're good to go. Okay, well, that basically covers my lowdown on lowering using the stock interior. Like I said, it's all up to you. Are you willing to do it? But here's the difference. Box stock, modified. Again, I'll say it again. That doesn't look like a whole lot, but on race day, it does make the difference. If you like the car just the way it looks, then there's a lot less work to do. But if you really want to get some more performance out of these cars, this is pretty much what it's going to take. You're going to have to get them down there. Now we're going to discuss some other details here, and then we're going to do a road test, basically against the stock unlowered car and this car. And obviously you can tell this car here has the wrong color wheels because it's just a different chassis. I just set it up that way just to show you. But I hope that this helps you. I know it was a lot of work. It seems tedious, but it really doesn't take that long of a time, to get it done. And to me, it's worth it. All the mods we've done in the first series, now we've got it lowered. It's just, like I said, it's just a big difference when you're out here 4 wide and you're just trying to milk this thing for all it's worth. Sometimes you just can't get low enough. Again, I don't really slam it any more than this. Some people do. That's just not me. But anyway, hope you guys got something out of this. I appreciate all the feedback. It's really great to hear from you guys. I want to hear your ideas as well. So keep on with the feedback. But what we're going to do now is we're going to finish up some fine details, do a little painting, and then it's going to be a head-to-head test.